Hello. My name is Crystal Chibu, and I am your Hope Catalyst, and you're welcome to the HopeGrill, where we teach, infuse, and experience hope. Have you ever been broke? Do you know what it means not to have money in your pocket? Today on the HopeGrill, I have someone that is going to be taking us through how to get out of debt. She is the author of the book, Get Out of Debt, and she's a family and personal financial coach. With me on HopeGrill, I have the pleasure of having Tosin Praise-Fowowe. Tosin, you're welcome to the HopeGrill.
Thank you very much, Crystal. It's good to be here.
Thank you so much for coming. Wow. So let's get right into the matter, because I want to be able to get so much out of you in a very short period of time. I know you have a story behind this madness of finance and all of that. Can you quickly just take us through what the story is and how you got into this space?
Okay, so I studied microbiology. My husband is an accountant, trained accountant, but doesn't work as one. And when we were getting married, we thought, oh, we got all this money things, sorted out. We have an accountant in the house and all of those things. And we just felt money was just one of those things that is already sorted. But in years into our marriage, we realized that, no, we have a very big issue with money. And every month, every year, we are always just getting by and nothing extra to live the kind of life that we always wanted. Every month, our accounts were always resetting to zero. At the end of the year, we didn't have something to go into the new year with and all of those things. And we got to that point where we told ourselves, you know what, this just has to stop. And so we started this quest to get more knowledgeable about finances, find out what the problems we were having with money were and how to sort them, and how to move from where we were, a place of ignorance and despair, to a place of bliss, financial bliss and all of this. And so that was what started this journey for me. And we realized that in the process of finding knowledge and acquiring knowledge, I was a better financial manager than my husband. I was making better financial decisions. And the mentor we got for ourselves at that point said, you know what? I think you should just let your wife take charge of these finances. And that was the turning point in our financial work as a couple. And where we are today is a big testimony, a path so different from where we were coming from. It's been a journey, but at the end of the day, it's been a journey of hope for us and bliss at the end of the day. We are still on that journey, and we are also on that same journey, helping others to find their path and find their financial bliss.
Thank you, Tosin. Are there people that you will say have financial disability? Like really, they can't seem to be able to invest, they can't seem to be able to save, they can't seem to get it all together, even when they try. And at what point should they really get help? Because I think money is, very crucial, not just, for married people, for single people. I mean, for you to live life. Yeah.
So, financial disability, yes, I would say emphatically that there are people who are like that. And so take, for example, somebody who is an extroverted human being. And so for somebody who is extroverted, we know that they are out there and they like the showman kind of person. And so for them to spend money is not a problem. The problem would be to make that money stay with them. So for example, I have this outgoing, my husband, for example, let me use my husband as a typical example. My husband is a giver. He can give his whole life out. And so when we have money and there's somebody else who has need, the money we have is no longer at our own at that point in time. It's to help somebody else. And at that point, we realized that the giving and the helping we were doing was actually hurting us and putting us in a place of despair. And so we got to that place where my husband didn't have to take financial decisions alone. We had to start taking financial decisions together. So when he wants to, even if you are in very dear need, he will say, okay, let me check in with my wife. And so there are people who have that problem. They cannot, they can't do without spending money. I have somebody who says that it's just 5 minutes.
Money is for
it's just 5 minutes. Once I have that money, it's gone in 5 minutes. Do you understand? And we have people who, their own financial disability is that they have the money, they know how to save it, but they cannot spend it on themselves. That is also a disability. Because how would you have money and you are not able to live a good life? Then you are stingy to yourself. You are being like akagom, like we always say it. So very stingy to yourself. So there are different forms of disability. People who have it and can't keep it. People who have it and can't grow it. People who have it and can't spend it on themselves. So you need to find yourself, where is my own disability and how can I help myself to get out of this disability? Or who can I find to help me out of this disability?
So I know you have a book, Get Out of Debt, which I do really recommend for everyone to get the book. But can you just give us a few tips on how to get out of debt? On how to begin to attain financial freedom so we can also be happy people.
Exactly. So if you are in debt or you think that the way you are going about your finances, you would end up in debt, one of the first things you need to do is to ask yourself, what am I not doing right? Find what you are not doing right and find the knowledge to begin to do them right. So it's a decision that I don't want to be in that position that would get you out of it. See, you don't stumble into debt. You walk yourself into it and you can't stumble out of it. You have to walk yourself out of it. So getting out of debt is first and foremost a decision, a personal decision that I don't want to be or stay in that position. So because you don't want to be or stay in that position, you tell yourself, every money I have needs to have a plan. So once you have a plan, so a plan is as simple as, I'm going to be having 100,000 naira within the next 48 hours. What am I going to do with that 100,000 naira? Wow. So I put pen to paper and I spend the 100,000 naira on paper. And once that 100,000 naira is spent on paper, once the money hits my account, I know exactly where it is going into. And that way, I'm putting it there. So I've decided, okay, 20% is going into savings. I've done that on paper. My 100,000 naira is spent on paper. Immediately, it enters my hand. I know all I am keeping for everyday expenses and everything is no more than 20,000 naira. So I keep that and I put every other thing, the remaining 80,000, into other places that I have decided they were going to go into. That way, your money, you tell your money where to go and it doesn't just fly away. Some people say, I don't know how the money went. Because really you don't have a plan, right? So once you have a plan, it's easier for you to set, and that way you are not going to, in the next 5 minutes, like the 5 minutes noodles people. Yeah, in the next 5 minutes, you are not saying the money is gone. You don't know what happened to it. It just grew wings. Money doesn't grow wings. We just allow it to be spent without having a plan. So have a plan. And if you are already in debt and you need to come out of it, you need to develop a plan to come out of it. Now, you need to know how much you are owing. You need to know to who you are owing it to. And you need to know when it is due for it to be paid back. And if it is those money that comes with interest, you need to know, okay, so this is the capital I have borrowed. This is the interest I have to pay back. Then how much of it am I willing to pay every month till it is fully paid? So for some people, it can take you 1 year to pay down your debt. For some people, it could be 3 years, 4 years. But the most important thing is be consistent in the process of paying it back.
I think we should not tell them everything in the book. We should allow people go and get that book, Get Out of Debt. So if there's one thing you're going to leave us with today, what's that one thing that you would tell us on the grill?
Your finances are not blind. They have your eyes. So give your finances your eyes and let it see clearly what it needs to be doing.
Thank you so much, Tosin Praise-Fowowe, for coming on the Hope Grill. And it's always a pleasure having you with and around me. I have a small token for you from the grill. Thank you so much, Tosin, for coming today. God bless you.
My pleasure.
We're still on the Hope Grill. Please do not go away. We'll be right back. And ask the grill today is, I just found out my wife is cheating on me and I am falling apart. Help me. That's such a sad one. But the first thing that comes to mind for me is get help. You need a marriage counselor. You need to talk to a therapist, because it can be devastating when you really care about someone and love someone and the betrayal is there. So what you need to do is get help. Talk to your marriage counselor, and the person will be able to guide you in the path that you should go. It's going to take a lot of talking, to yourselves about. It's going to take a lot of healing process, especially if it's true, and I can only pray that you go through it. But you know what? You can go through it. Quote for the week. There comes a point where it all becomes too much, when we get too tired to fight anymore, so we give up. That's when the real work begins, to find hope where there seems to be absolutely none at all. I hope you've been inspired. I really enjoyed spending time with Tosin Praise-Fowowe today, and if you're having any financial issues, you should plan to get out of that issue. And if you're in debt, get out of debt. More importantly, I want you to know that you can make it happen. It's gonna be okay. Stay strong, stay inspired, and have a hope-filled week. Bye.